Greetings and welcome, fellow Rimtech Combot pilots. Let us continue with our assault. We can be fairly brief about this. Now, against all our combined combots, Jonas' Combot does not stand a chance, so... Alright, so... now we just have to secure the place. Now there's lots of parts over here, some of which I already have. Now normally, of course, getting to this particular place, you probably want to be able to do early on in the mission so that it's done. Because the second part of the mission, of course, is to capture and claim it. Which we can do momentarily, but first I kind of want to get these parts, just simply because I want to have them, to have a look at them. But we can speed that up a little bit.
Vehicle complete.
Now, I understand why there is a speed mechanic in the game. I tend to not use it all that much because it throws off my timing a little bit. But it certainly can be very useful when you're pretty much the only one left on the map and you're just running out the clock. I mean, I'm not even entirely certain it's possible to use the speed up in anything but a... in nothing but the single player. Now,
complete.
as long as we're waiting, we might as well talk a bit about certain game mechanics. Like, for instance, I've been offered the notion that perhaps I should just have more combots, and I certainly could do that. There's nothing really preventing me. There's really nothing preventing me from doing that, but the reason I mostly balk against that is because I find combots a little bit cumbersome in battle. They are extremely powerful, and one-on-one they can pretty much win against any vehicle on the map.
Vehicle complete.
But the AI in the game is not sufficiently strong enough to really allow that. So, of course, there is nothing preventing you from doing that, but even so, combots are a little bit more limited in what they can actually do. I mean, even with the strongest combots, they don't effectively take down buildings faster than anything else. And combots are somewhat of a liability in battle on the other side as well, because they will take up space that your regular vehicles cannot get through, which are much cheaper and all that. Right, where am I still seeing enemies? I mean, I'm pretty sure I wiped everything out. Except over here. Alright, do I still have some fighter craft? Yes, I do. Go kill that. Alright, let's get you back to the base. Hit the rotary blade. Now, of course, I could speed things up in building robots, combots rather, by building multiple parts factories. This isn't a cumulative effect. It's a essentially, if you queue up multiple combat parts, you have multiple factories, the work is split between them. So each part is handled by a different factory, which makes things faster overall, but it's not necessarily the most convenient because it makes it easier to lose track of things. But eventually that doesn't matter because combat parts just end up in the base anyway. Alright. Well, I kind of want to get this going, so... Although before I do that, let's actually create a bit of a save here, just in case the game doesn't like that. Now, this particular Hedoth artifact is an attack bonus.
Energy base full.
Alright, game speed is now at max. Well, if there's enemies on the surface, I certainly don't see them. No, pretty much nothing. Alright, we've captured it. The enemy has been eliminated. Alright, so... I mean, we've pretty much already eradicated the Agro base and all that, so... Pretty sure I didn't miss anything. Now we're just essentially running out the clock, as is. I'm not seeing any enemy activity, so I'm not sure what the game is going on about with enemy activity detected on the surface. Unless it meant those recon poles, but even then there was only one really in range, so yeah, no. There's nothing left. Alright, come on. Finish quest. Structure is mine. I can't make the game move any faster, although it's sort of amusing to see it do that. But what other parts did we get? Got the strength legs, which give me stuff I can't really tell. I mean, yeah, it's not really mentioning it here anyway. Now, the hammer hand is one of the most powerful physical attack weapons, and in that it does physical damage, which is good. I mean, it makes sense for Agro to have this. But ultimately, it's also the dumbest thing for them to have. Because Neuropa has reacted to this by giving their bots better armor protection. And even against Rimtech, which is the most balanced, of course, it doesn't make much sense to go all that much. But I guess it is a very effective weapon in that regard. Much better than the electro grip, of course. And the homing missile, I believe that's mostly energy based. Cute. The rotary blade is one of the strongest energy weapons and melee energy weapons. You can see this gives us 45 damage versus the laser sword, which is 35. So overall, not a bad weapon to have. Well, let's go play Combot dress up then. Have a bit of a look. Now, I can guess what the strength legs do. In my guess is that they would be improved hand to hand. Yeah, I know that. Alright, so we have strength legs, so let's put them on. Alright, we had speed legs before. So let's actually deploy. Now, you have a hand-to-hand versus physical of 16 and versus energy of 66. So if we put on the strength legs, that becomes... I don't see the difference really. I mean, really, there should be some difference. How about the rotary blade? Alright, the rotary blade does improve the hand-to-hand ability. What do the strength legs do then? Alright, she's got them on. Yeah, but getting to walk around with a colorful combat like this, that rarely ever happens in my estimation. And on some level that's not even all that desirable to have a multicolored combat running about, because for one thing it makes it more difficult to know the allegiance. Alright, done!
Mission log concluded. At the conclusion of his mission, Diego's squad captured numerous Milagros and Neuropans, including Diego's defector brother, Jonas. The confrontation between the brothers was brief, as Diego was stunned by Jonas's news that Stefan was now with Milagro. Each blamed the other for this turn of events. They would not speak again for the duration of the war.
Alright, so we have got our bonus objectives. We inspected the Hedoth structure, we completed the Hedoth research, and we eliminated the enemy. So we have full power. And let's continue.
Rimtech had suffered a series of humiliating losses at the hands of its enemies. Diego threw himself into each new mission, driven by a growing sense of self-importance and need to restore honor to the family name. Interestingly, his relationship with Isadora Toltec had moved from a professional level to a personal one, and would ultimately prove costly. When Neuropa inserted a commando team into a Rimtech storage park, a rapid response was required. CTO Hansen authorized the expense of tight beaming Diego to the scene. His mission? Eliminate the intruders before they could launch their matter converter and escape.
Right, so stop the enemy matter converter from blasting off. Diego must survive. Right. So essentially, they're gonna send me into a mission with only Diego and his crew to commandeer a Combot, which I have to use to eliminate the Neuropan invaders. But anyway, personal log, Angelus, Diego, entry 2295-121. Now, I understand why our enemies have been so successful of late. Stefan's with Milagro. Now, like Neuropa, they have an inside line on the Rimtech's tactics. They are using it against us. I'm going to have to throw out the rulebook and try something unorthodox. I still can't believe it. Stefan with Milagro? What could have made Stefan join them? They're even worse than Neuropa. As insane as Neuropan beliefs are, at least they adhere to their own code of ethics. All Milagro is about is the Cobb family and their wealth. What's happened to our family? How could they betray me like that? Worse, my disgrace is not even my own. News of Stefan's leaked. And now that all of Rimtech knows that 2 of the Angelus brothers are traitors, they talk about it when they think I can't hear. Conversations stop when I walk into the room. The Angelus name used to be honorable. Now it's a name sneered and derided. At least I can capture Jonas. Jonas and his Neuropa buddy are in a high security cell and won't be going anywhere soon. The prison warden's a friend of mine. I told him to put Jonas through the hell during his interrogations. We're at war. War, glorious war. It's about time we stopped treating prisoners like guests. That's especially true of traitors. I disagree with you, Diego. That's not how you get best interrogation results. And it does no good for your honor to dip into torture. My only solace is Isadora. She's always there for me, on the battlefield and off. She knows my shame and still she does not shun me. She's not of blood, but on my father's grave she is more family to me now than my brothers. Yes, what can I do for you? I'm a little bit busy. Let us continue. Alright, so can't upgrade the vehicles, so the structures rather. So we'll do the vehicles instead, and I suppose I'll dump some points into Diego. So another part of the reason is why I don't usually get too many combat teams is because of this. I feel compelled to level them all up, when technically you don't really need that many. Basically just the named ones and maybe 1 or 2 extras. Otherwise you probably want to save your upgrade points, because as good as it is to have multiple combat teams, do you higher level, because that helps your overall combat effectiveness. They're too easily lost, as I've already demonstrated with enemy combat teams. Since AI bad, the combat teams usually tend to get tangled up in the mess. But you know what? Let's go on. Right, so here we have Diego. And, well, I'm gonna save here because this is quite a tricky mission. Now, we have 3 Combots here. One with a power shield, a laser gun, and laser sword. One with an energy gun, basic arm, missile torso, and basic legs. And one with an armored fist, katana, basic torso, missile legs. Alright, let's actually get into a thing. This one is probably the best one to take against Neuropans. Now my goal is really only to get the master converter. The rest of the structures do not matter. But I will probably want to take out any enemy units that I encounter because, well, they're in the way. Now, this entire storage yard is littered with combat parts, which I think is just darn sloppy. If I ran this yard, no way that would be happening. Alright, now, I don't have time to deal with the defenses like that. I could, but that frankly eats into the damage potential, and I really kinda don't want to do that. I do have some energy, but I have no means of restoring that energy. And so I won't. Now here we have
Battle on surface.
an enemy combat who is woefully outmatched, hopefully. Problem is he's using combat parts that I don't really have the means to counter.
Battle on surface.
Alright, I need to retreat. Because I don't have the means to counter that. And that'll have to be the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.